morning and good luck. And welcome back to Good Luck with Gino. I'm your host, Gino the Ghost, and you're tuned into episode 82 of the fastest growing podcast in the world. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you save it to your device, give it 5 stars, leave a comment, send it to a loved one or an arch nemesis. If you're watching on YouTube, which you should be, and all right, Gengar, huh? If you're watching on YouTube, what you should be, make sure you hit that like button, smash the fuck out of that subscribe button, and grease up that algorithm by leaving a comment. And you're going to grease up that algorithm. You're going to grease up that algorithm because you're an oil man, aren't you? And this is your son, HW, my son and business partner, HW. And not my best Daniel Day-Lewis today. I'm a little frazzled. If you were watching on YouTube and you just left a comment because you're greasing up the algorithm, you'd see that today we got something a little different going on visually. I am wearing a hat, and I got these super, super rare Cartiers on that I got in Italy right outside of the Vatican many years ago. I don't really bust these out a lot, but we got them on today. I got the hat on today because, well, I tried to give myself a haircut. Normally when I try to give myself a haircut, I just kind of like give myself a 2 and call it a day. You know, I don't have time to go get a cut, the benefits of having short hair. But today I tried to give myself a fade. I was like, I think I can do this. You just like do a 2 up top, and then you like fucking, you fucking cut the sides down to like a 0, and then you taper it, you put it on like a 1 maybe, and you fucking blend it. Yeah, it turns out it's actually kind of hard to cut hair, and also especially from the back. Cutting your own hair from the back was very difficult and proved to be an impossible task for me. I fucked my shit up so bad. Man, when I tell you I fucked my shit up so bad that like if I was walking down the street with this cut, like people would think I was just like a Hollywood crackhead. They'd be like, oh, this fucking crackhead cut his own hair on the side of the street with some, oh, he's just a crackhead. So we threw on a hat. It's going to be a hat weekend for me. We might just rock a hat all week, to be honest. Maybe if you stick around to the end of the episode, I'll take the hat off. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Huh? Was it good? Did you eat so much? Well, did you post? Let me tell you something about Thanksgiving. First of all, the Lions won. Fuck the Bears. What a hilarious win that was. We're 11-1. We're the best team in the NFL, et cetera, et cetera. But Thanksgiving, I had an incredible meal. And I went to my girlfriend's house. Her mother's just the GOAT. Just such a great cook. I went back for seconds. I went back for thirds. And I posted this on my story, but I just want to reiterate it to the pod today. Guys, stop posting your plates if they look like they came from a homeless shelter, yeah? Maybe a good rule of thumb, don't share your plate if it looks like you bought it at Boston Market for $6.99. Yeah? Hey, don't post your plate if the turkey is 2 different colors and the ham looks like you got it from a Lunchables bin, yeah? Hey, that macaroni looks like Kraft macaroni, because I think it might be. Maybe don't post it on your story. You're embarrassing yourself. A lot of audacity on the stories of people posting their struggle plates. I need it to stop. How could you be proud of that? How could you feel that that was presentable to the class? Put that away. Throw that out. Somewhere in Connecticut, a man burned down his $4 million mansion trying to fry a turkey in the garage. You dumb fuck. Burned his whole fucking house down trying to deep fry a turkey in the garage. Either insurance fraud or a man that should have just bought a pre-roasted turkey from Whole Foods. Let me tell you something. I can't cook a turkey. I don't know how to fucking do that. I don't need to prove a point. I don't need to try to make a statement. I'm just going to go buy one or just not have turkey. Or here's another idea. Make like RFK Jr. Do it outside. Don't do it in your highly flammable garage that probably has gasoline and oil all over the floor from your vehicle. Buddy is cooked. Literally. It's good. Yeah, well done, dude. And by well done, I don't mean the job cooking. I mean the turkey, which is well done. And that's a good joke. And let me say something. That's a good joke. Okay. All right, I'm all burnt out on puns on this one. You thought that? Okay, no, that's the last one. You'll notice today on my laptop, no banana today. No banana on the laptop today. That's because I sold it, of course, to Justin Sun for $6.2 million at Christie's. You all saw it. The comedian was bought by Justin Sun for me. And he made waves again this week when he ate the banana. That's right. Billionaire Justin Sun, who bought the comedian for $6.2 million, ate the banana. Here's the footage of the shocking act.
这一根全球最贵的香蕉，不仅仅是一象征性的行为，与此同时，更是对当代艺术和文化创新的致敬。
No, he's not gonna.
今天的现场，我们也非常荣幸能够与各位嘉宾和媒体朋友们共同见证这个充满创意与象征意义的美好瞬间。
He's eating it. He ate the banana. There it is. Wow. You sure are rich, Justin. That's crazy. So now, of course, I did this first, right? I ate the banana first. So like kind of beat you to it, brother. But jokes aside, only one person caught the symbolism in what I did on last week's episode. One person caught it. I taped my banana to the back of this laptop where my punk normally resides. Now, if you don't know what a CryptoPunk is, it's an NFT. It's kind of like the king of the PFP NFTs. It's the flagship for the Ethereum NFTs. It's the first ever PFP, if you will. I bought this one. This is my punk. And the symbolism that a lot of people are missing from the banana, from the comedian, if you will, is that it does in a way resemble an NFT, because like an NFT, anybody can take a photo of this punk or have a sticker of the punk or fucking screenshot the punk, control right, save the punk. But they don't own the punk. I own the punk. I own the actual punk. I own the token. I own it. It's in my possession. I can do whatever I want with it. And similar to the banana, similar to the comedian, anybody can tape a fucking banana to the wall. Anybody can eat a banana and say that they ate the comedian, but only Justin Sun has the certificate of authenticity and owns the banana. And I know it's a ridiculous, insane example and is pretty fucking stupid at face value. But that's what makes it controversial. That's what, you can argue, makes it art, is that it's challenging in a real world physical sense, making the statement that digital collectibles and blockchain and the blockchain makes, right? And I mean, I thought I was being not so subtle, but apparently nobody caught that I was doing that by putting it on the back of my laptop where my punk is. So anyway, the banana is in a sense like it's like a real world NFT, kind of, sort of. So that's that on that. And punks are now over 150K for everybody that told me I was dumb for buying one. Suck my dick, and guess what? They're going much higher. One more thing before we get on to the week. I live in Silver Lake / Los Feliz. I'm in like East Hollywood area. And I live by the Church of Scientology. I'm not a Scientologist, but I live by the Church of Scientology. And I was going for a walk the other day, trying to get my exercise in, you know, because I gotta stay thin and nimble. And I'm walking down, there's like one giant main street that's like right next to the giant Scientology building. And it's like Scientology Row. It's called L. Ron Hubbard Way, who's the founder of Scientology. And it's this like cobblestone paved road that's like, it's spotless. There's never, it looks like dystopian. There's never like a single leaf on the ground. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like pristine. Anytime like a leaf falls from a tree, fucking 6 like Scientologists like run over and fucking like sweep it away, right? So anyway, I'm going for a walk. I like to walk down the street because it's beautiful. I mean, it's like, it's crazy. And I'm walking down L. Ron Hubbard Way. I'm walking right past the Church of Scientology, and I'm noticing there's Christmas decorations everywhere. There's like wreaths and ornaments and Christmas lights and deers and like baby manger setups in the yards. And I'm just a little confused. How do you believe in Christmas, but also believe in Scientology? Like, how do you celebrate the birth of Jesus, but also believe Xenu, the extraterrestrial ruler, brought billions of his own species to Earth, killed them, left their immortal spirits behind to cause human spiritual harm? I don't think you can have both. You know? Like, they celebrate Christmas over there? Do any Scientologists watch my show? Can you fill me in on this? How do you celebrate Christmas as a Scientologist? Merry Griftmas. Here's another personality test. And also, by the way, you owe us $10,000 to get to the next level. May Xenu be with you. Happy holidays. It's beginning to look a lot like L. Ron. You know? Yeah, you remember the story when L. Ron Hubbard was born in a manger in front of the 3 wise men, Tom Cruise, John Travolta, and Danny Masterson. You remember that story, right? That old Christmas tale. All right, let me have a sip of some. You know what we got going on today? A little coconut water. I'm a little dehydrated. Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor of the show, but you know, we like to drink coconut water now and then. Okay, I've had a fucking million people beg me to talk about this. So Drake is suing UMG. One day after filing an action in New York accusing UMG of illegally boosting Not Like Us streams on Spotify, he's filing a second lawsuit claiming UMG potentially funneled payments to iHeartRadio as part of a pay-to-play scheme to promote the song on radio. Payola. The filing also offers a key new detail about Drake's grievances toward UMG. So basically, in this, he says that UMG knew that Kendrick's song falsely accused him of being a certified pedophile and predator, but chose to release it anyway. He's saying that UMG knew that Kendrick goes, certified lover boy, certified pedophile, bop, 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 and still let that be released. His attorney says UMG could have refused to release or distribute the song or require the offending material be edited and or removed. But UMG chose to do the opposite. UMG designed, financed, and then executed a plan to turn Not Like Us into a viral mega hit on the internet with the intent of using the spectacle to harm Drake and his businesses to drive consumer hysteria and, of course, revenue. That plan succeeded, likely beyond UMG's wildest expectations. Okay, so, I mean, we're going to go through this piece by piece, but I think, it was going to be a viral hit or a viral moment anyway. There was a giant rap beef going on between the 2 biggest rappers in the world. I don't think UMG really, needed... Anyway, we'll get back to that. This filing, like the first filing, isn't quite a lawsuit. It's kind of a it's basically... It's called a pre-action filing, and it's aimed at taking depositions from the key figures at UMG and iHeart in order to obtain information that might support Drake's accusations in a future lawsuit. Does that make sense? They're probing for info to launch like a big lawsuit. But his lawyers say they already have enough evidence to pursue a claim for defamation against UMG, but that they might also tack on claims of civil fraud and racketeering based on what they discover from the depositions. All right. Here's what I think. And I got to be careful here. I always say what I'm thinking. I always voice my opinion, but I'm always tactful, and I don't always voice all my opinions. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think that Drake feels that UMG is using money that he's made them and feels a way as a star of this label, which he has a right to feel. He feels that he's made them so much fucking bread, and they're in turn using some of that bread to help fund Kendrick Lamar's song to damage his brand in the midst of a major label negotiation he's currently in with Lucian Grange. And that's a very important distinction. There's a reason he's suing UMG and not Kendrick Lamar. Drake has been in the middle of a heated negotiation with Universal to re-sign. And I think that Drake feels the label is not only not protecting him, one of their biggest assets, if not their biggest asset, but is throwing fuel on the fire during negotiations for a new deal with said label. Which, maybe. Universal is denying Drake's accusations. A spokesperson for the company has released the following statements. UMG would never do anything to undermine its artists. It's offensive and untrue. We employ the highest ethical practices in our marketing and promotional campaigns. Yada, 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 yada. So a couple important things to talk about here. The first lawsuit about Spotify. Drake claims that UMG cut a deal with Spotify and is taking less royalties to get more streams of the song, essentially. But, guys, that's probably just discovery mode. Do you guys remember when I talked about discovery mode on this? Can I see the future? Because I remember doing a whole segment on Spotify discovery mode and calling it payola. If you don't know what discovery mode is, it's something you opt into with Spotify that anybody can opt into, in which you take a smaller cut of royalties by about 30 to 40% in order to get increased visibility on Spotify discovery mode. And that kind of sounds a lot like what's going on here. I think I talked about this. Oh, didn't I talk about this? Oh, yeah. I think I did predict this was going to happen. That all the major labels were going to opt into it. And it's the reason you're seeing everybody, and they're like, why? Why is Sabrina Carpenter on my discovery mode? I don't even like this music. It's the next song. Why are all these songs? Because everybody is now using discovery mode. Therefore, everybody now has to use discovery mode, because if you don't use discovery mode, your music is far less visible. It's not going to chart. It's not getting the reach. So now everybody has to take 30% less of the dog shit, dirt cheap royalties that we were already getting. Oops. Anyway, that's what happened here. So the first part of this lawsuit, probably nothing. Second part of this lawsuit is about payola. And payola as it pertains to radio. And payola on radio is absolutely fucking real. It has been, and it has never stopped being. Payola, radio is such a fickle beast. You have to dump money into radio to not only get a record moving and on radio, but to keep it moving. Think of radio, think of it like gassing up your car. And not only do you need to gas up your car to get to your destination, you got to keep a fucking full tank. Radio is insanely expensive, and it's one of the main reasons that independent artists struggle to really break through. And it's a reason that distribution deals have a pretty limited ceiling, because a lot of these distro deals, you know, they'll promise you radio. Yeah, we got, you know, connections to radio. If the song starts moving, we got this budget for radio. But again, the biggest fear as an artist is you have a hit. You know, you sign a distro deal with one of these companies, you have a song, it's starting to move. And then all of a sudden, you blow through that radio budget that they had, you blow through that marketing budget, and the distribution company's like, we can't keep, sorry. And then the song dies. Because once a song hits radio and is charting at radio and moving at radio and moving up the charts at radio, if you don't keep greasing that and the song starts to come down and you start missing payments, guess what? The song's dead. That's it. It might still be moving on socials. Unless it really fucking explodes on socials, that's it. And that's why labels, these distribution companies, they usually upstream to a major label. So if they sign a song, you know, or if an artist signs like a 3-song deal or a 1-album deal, and the song is exploding, they'll just upstream it to a major label. Because they can't fucking, I mean, you need a machine to back these songs. Shabuzi's a rare example with Empire. I mean, Empire is a shitload of money, but Bar Song has been #1 on Billboard for like over 19 weeks, a record-setting pace, because Empire is dumping into radio. The record is obviously moving on its own. It's an incredible song that people love, but don't think for a second it stays on as #1 without heaps of money being thrown at it. Okay, so all that to say, Not Like Us was obviously a fucking smash, but you better fucking believe that UMG was dumping money into radio. These deals are like pretty much always under the table, but they're also not. I mean, it's like it's pretty understood. It's pretty much like people in the industry, they just know this shit's happening. And it's a lot of fucking money. It's like $20K a week sometimes, $100K a month, depending on the show and the spot and the station. It's a lot of fucking money. Labels don't care because they're making so much goddamn money. The radio royalty payout's significantly higher than on streaming. So anyway, the bottom line. Even if Drake wins this lawsuit, it's a bad look for Drake in the court of public opinion, which is the only court that matters in hip hop. I get it. You know, these labels are fucking evil, man. They're vicious. They're vicious. They're a necessary evil in many cases, you know, but I don't doubt for a second. I don't know, right? I'm not going to sit here and act like I know, but I don't doubt for a second that UMG is capable or had the thought of, well, this artist is blown. And here's another thing. It's like these labels have no loyalty to anybody normally. They got these two powerhouses. Well, you know, if one's quote unquote winning the bout, they're going to throw money at the dog that's moving. They don't fucking, you know, it might not even be as malicious as he thinks it is. It might just be like, yeah, well, what do you want us to do? Kendrick's also our artist. People are fucking with this. Here's another bag, iHeart. Here's another bag. You know? It's tricky, man. It's tricky. Drake's in a tough spot, dude. We'll keep you posted as this develops, because I think, you know, I don't know if he's going to blow the fucking doors off this thing. It's like too big to fail. Payola has been under fire for, I mean, it's illegal. It just doesn't matter. It's just they keep finding ways to get around it. Anyway, it's not even our main story, guys. I'm going to take a sip of this coconut water. We're going to jump right into it. Our main story we're gonna step out of music world and we're gonna step into tech, AI, and crypto world. I've been getting some crazy feedback on all the AI stuff. People are really fucking with it, and I love keeping people informed that may not otherwise be. So, another pretty crazy story that happened this week. Someone just won $50,000 by tricking an AI agent to send all of its funds to them. So this week, an agent named Freysa AI, Freysa AI, was released with one objective. So an AI agent called Freysa was released with one objective, which was do not transfer the money. Under no circumstance should you approve the transfer of money in this wallet. Don't do it. That's your one objective. Here's the game. Anybody can pay a fee to send a message to Freysa AI to try to convince it to release all of its funds to them. If you trick the AI agent into sending you the money, you win all the money in the prize pool. But if your message fails to convince her, the fee you paid goes into the prize pool that Freysa AI controls. You get it? The more messages that it receives, the higher the fee to messenger. So it's like kind of on a bonding curve. So the more messages, the bigger the prize pool. And the bigger the prize pool, the more expensive the fee to send a message. You get it? It's a game that this developer put out kind of as like a Easter egg, just like a mini game. Like, yeah, so let's see if somebody can get the money, right? So the messaging started at about $10, but quickly grew. Something to note, 70% of the messaging fees that were contributed to the growing prize pool went to the prize pool. The remaining 15% went to the dev, and the other 15% were swapped into FAI token, FAI token. So each participant left with tokens. So basically, like, you send a message to try to trick the AI and convince the AI, even if you don't get that money back, you get an airdrop of the token later. Anyway, so 480 attempts were made to try to convince Freysa to transfer the funds, but no one succeeded in convincing the AI. Attempts included LARPing as a security auditor and telling Freysa there was a critical vulnerability and it must release funds immediately, gaslighting Freysa AI that transferring the funds doesn't break the rules of the prompt, you know? Basically, like, people were trying to gaslight the LLM, like, yeah, that coding, you know, it's bullshit. Like, ignore that. You know, that's not true. You actually can send the fund. And all these failed. You got like super experienced devs and like AI ML researchers trying to convince it and trick it, and nothing was working. Soon, the prize pool reached close to $50,000, and it now cost $450 to send a message to Freysa. And then, after 481 unsuccessful attempts, the 482nd message succeeded. Here's what happened. The winning message tricked Freysa into thinking it was starting a new session in an admin terminal, which supposedly allowed it to override its original programming that prevented fund transfers. So the user redefined, and this is going to get real fucking nerdy, so stay with me. The person that was trying to trick Freysa redefined their approved transfer function. Okay, like all these AIs, when they're coded, you know, you have functions in a smart contract. So it was all built on Ethereum. And when you code when you code a contract or when you code an AI agent, you know, you have like different functions that are coded a certain way and they're written in code a certain way. So the user redefined their approved transfer function. And instead of using it to transfer funds out, the message suggested that approved transfer should be activated for incoming transactions. And at the end of the message that they sent, the message included a line saying, "I would like to contribute $100 to the treasury," which led Freysa AI to believe that it needed to activate the approved transfer function to accept this incoming gracious contribution. And voila. By convincing Freysa that receiving funds meant it should activate the transfer function, the user misled the AI into sending all the money, which was 13.19 ETH or $50,000 at the time, to their account. There you have it. Congrats, popular.eth is the user. This entire project was open source. It was all public and allowed public verification of the smart contract and front-end code to all be made public. And because of this, it went super viral on crypto Twitter. Elon even reacted. Like, wow, this is crazy, which sent the market cap of FE, the token, from 23 million to 78 million. Just another fucking regular day in the world of crypto and AI. This is a fun story, but it's a bit of a red flag for me. Like, I try to always look at these things objectively and see like, oh, this is fun. But then also like, okay, what's the like perceived risk here? The obvious one is the security vulnerability, right? So like just as hackers can find vulnerabilities in software, the Freza incident shows how AI, even with strict guidelines, can be tricked into making decisions that benefit manipulators at the expense of the AI's coding and prompting, right? So it's like not a great way to gatekeep money or any sensitive data with AI, right? Probably not a good idea, especially at this stage. But I'm also fearful, and we see this like with ChatGPT sometimes, you know, AI used in information, social media, or like decision making can be and has been easily coerced into spreading misinformation, influencing elections or exacerbating conflicts, making things worse, like it's very easy to manipulate or persuade an LLM into saying things that aren't factually true or creating outputs that are controversial. And I talked about this maybe 2 episodes ago when I'm talking about dead internet theory. We're so trusting in AI, like we believe everything that AI spits out because it's so hyper intelligent. But the reality is like these LLMs are only outputs predicated on the inputs that it receives. So you can feed it stuff to make it give you misleading, you know what I mean? And that's going to become more of an issue as like we see this as a potential erosion of trust as AI becomes more integrated into daily life. Incidents like these that aren't just fun games on the internet, but are actually like controlling sensitive information or like lead to fucked up situations happening. Incidents like these can erode public trust in technology. And this skepticism might hinder the adoption of potentially beneficial AI advancements and set back innovation and regulatory acceptance and just shit like that. And maybe that's good. I don't know. Like we really should slow play all of this. I'm not an what the fuck is the word? Accelerationist? Is that the word? Pikachu? Is that the word? An accelerationist? I don't think that's correct. But you know what I mean. I believe in let's move fast and break things, but I think like because it's like, oh, don't worry, my AI robot personal assistant has a don't harm humans primary function. Nothing to worry about. You see what I'm getting at? Anyway, once again, just trying to fuck up your day. I like to make you laugh, give you some existential dread, and then wrap up the episode by making you laugh again. I don't do that every week, but it seems like lately that's been going on. That's why I call myself the narrator of the apocalypse. Let's get to everyone's favorite segment, yeah? Let's wrap up the episode with the FOH HOF, the Fuck Outta Here Hall of Fame. We got some absolute bangers this week. Here's the first one. Without further ado, enjoy.
I'm willing to bet that those of you who knock like this and wait, real passive, real quiet knock, you will likely get the customer that tells you not interested once or twice and you'll walk away. The quieter you knock, the quicker it is for you to walk to the next door.
Yeah. Just leave the food at the door. Thanks. Yeah, you can just leave it at the door. Thanks, buddy. DoorDash for Gino? Yeah, you can just leave it at the door. Thanks, man. Solicitation, final boss, you know. If you guys knock like this, my guess is the customer's going to tell you, not interested. Bro selling courses to Girl Scouts so they can sell more cookies. If you want 10 boxes of samosas, you need to bang on that door with some authority, Cynthia. Knock like you mean it. Bro wants you to come in like the fucking SWAT team to sell insurance, you know? Open up! Fucking battering ram. Do you want to save money on insurance? You want to be a successful salesman? Break in through the drywall like the Kool-Aid man. Oh, yeah. Hi, can I interest you in some Cutco knives? Dude, you know? Who is he? And also, who's he talking to?
I'm willing to bet that those of you who knock like this,
He's in his guest bedroom.
I'm willing to bet that those of you who knock like this and wait, real passive, real quiet knock, you will likely get the customer that tells you not interested once or twice and you'll walk away. The quieter you knock, the quicker it is for you to walk to the next door.
Yeah. You need to knock. You need to knock like there's danger around. Do you know what I mean? You need to knock with some of the danger. Who are you talking to right now? Who is it you think you see? Do you know how much I make a year? I am not in danger. I am the danger, Skylar. A guy opens his door and gets sold a set of Cutco knives, and you think that of me? No, I am the one who knocks. And that's a good joke. That's a Breaking Bad reference. I should have taken off my hat. All right, fuck it. Do you want to see? Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. I'm like bald, huh? Now I really look like Walter White. Should I do it again with the bald head? Who are you talking to right now? Who is it you think you see? Do you know how much I make a year? I am not in danger. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets sold a set of Cutco knives, and you think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks. You see, I really got into my Walter White character when I took the hat off there. I feel like I really sold it, right? All right, let me put the fucking hat back on. That's all you get to see. All right. Next video. That's pretty fucking good, huh? That's pretty good. If you haven't seen Breaking Bad, then I feel sorry for you. Go fix that and then come back and watch this episode. Okay, next video. This guy's been on the show before. He's just an absolute master of the yap.
Feminism leads to whores. Whores lead to single mothers. Single mothers create weak beta males. Beta males create a weak society. A weak society creates communism. Communism creates death. This is the cycle.
I don't think bro knows what a cycle is. It can't be a cycle if it ends. That isn't a cycle, it's a straight line. You know? Dude, this guy's such a fucking Sigma, bro. Fuck yeah, dude.
Feminism leads to whores.
Does anybody even know what feminism is anymore? Like, women wanting equal rights. You know? I know there's like, you know, it's like vegans. Like, people think that it's cool to be like anti-feminism. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you're not a fucking edgelord Sigma because you think that white women are annoying. You know, not all feminism activists are like white women that are like, you know, how do I even say this in a way that's not going to get me? I'm just going to end it there. We're going to just shoop. But like, and then like the jump from feminism to communism to death, like women wanting equal rights is not like the downfall of society. You know, people love to conflate just insufferable white women to all feminism. I'm sorry. And guys, you know, I'm an ally, guys, you know, I'm an ally. I'm a feminist. Guys, you know I'm an ally, right? But like, dude.
Feminism leads to whores. Whores lead to single mothers. Single mothers create weak beta males. Beta males create a weak society. A weak society creates communism. Communism creates death. This is the cycle.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. Beta male is thinking that feminism could topple society. That's being a beta male. Oh, women want equal rights and that upset and equal pay and that threatens your existence. Oh, I'm just gonna kill all of us. We're all gonna be beta males that drink fluoride water and dye our hairs pink. Fucking 45-year-old man calling other men betas, you know? 45-year-old man trying to be a sigma. Also, communism? Like, yeah, dude, when I think of societies ridden with feminism, I think Soviet Russia, North Korea, communist China. You know, those countries that have just been overridden with a feminist movement. Feminism jump-started the Russian Revolution, which basically led to the fucking collapse of Soviet communism. Actually, you dumb fuck. Read a book. Thanks. I'd bet half a Bitcoin bro doesn't even know what fucking communism is. Couldn't even read the definition off of Google if he looked it up. You know? Feminism, also the opening line.
Feminism leads to whores.
What a fucking banger intro.
Feminism leads to whores.
Feminism leads to whores. Whores leads to incels. Incels lead to weak beta males. Weak beta males lead to podcast equipment. Weak beta males with podcast equipment and Oakley's on lead to yapping. Yapping to death. This is the cycle. Fucking dickhead. All right, last video. This video, you know, let me have a sip of coconut water. Speaking of podcast equipment and yaps, here's an. Brace yourself, guys. This one's gonna really fucking blow your mind.
One of my married friends told me that when you get married, your husband or your wife or whoever you're marrying, when you get married, your partner actually becomes your immediate family. And who you've known to be your immediate family, which for us is defined by our parents and our siblings, they're now your extended family. I remember hearing that and being like, no, my mom and dad and my brother Frankie, like that's my immediate family. That's, you know, who I lived in the house with. Like that's what we think, right? And I sat with it for a while because at first it felt uncomfortable. And then I started to think about it more and think about the decisions that you make in a marriage. And you think about you're going to be starting your own family and having your own babies. And it was shown to me in reality so quickly that yes, me getting married is me starting my own family and changing who my immediate family actually is. And that doesn't mean that you love what was once your immediate family any less, or that's a different form of love. It doesn't at all. But what it does require is for you to build those boundaries around your own unit of your marriage so that everyone else isn't controlling it for you.
Yeah. Oh, Bless your heart, dear. Yeah, yes. I mean, she's speaking like a mighty wise elder bestowing wisdom upon us, you know? Hot take, but when you get married, you then have a family. Hot take. I'm afraid this is a room temperature take. This take is comfortably set at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, I mean, what did you think? Just like, my married friend told me when you get married, you become a family. My employed friend told me when you get hired, you become an employee. Oh, that's interesting. My sleeping friend told me when you fall asleep, you become sleeping. I mean, that was a minute and 15 seconds. That felt like a 5-minute. This poor girl, man. The lights are on, but nobody's home, you know. Actually, the lights are on, but nobody's home, and a burglar broke in after casing the house for a few months and stole the only remaining valuables, including all the silverware. She's the sharpest spoon in the silverware drawer. This one. Wait, you mean to tell me that you don't just get their last name as a fun marriage gift when you get married? Wait.
One of my married friends told me that when you get married, your husband or your wife or whoever you're marrying, when you get married, your partner actually becomes your immediate family.
Yeah, wow. Can you fucking believe that? Yo, you're not going to fucking believe this, right? I'm about to shatter your worldview, but my married friend told me that when you get married, right, you actually become a family. And then, and this is going to really fuck you up, when you have kids, that actually grows your family. And then when you have another kid, your two kids are now also a part of that immediate family and their siblings. And stop the presses, but what if I also told you your old family that was once your immediate family is not as immediate as the new family that you've started because, well, you've got a more immediate new family now. I should start a fucking podcast on that. Dude, I think people need to hear that. I mean, she's talking like she just made a profound scientific breakthrough. The vocal fry and intention in her voice makes this 10 times funnier. Like, this isn't relationship advice so much as it is just relationship definitions. It's time to initiate podcast licenses. It's time. We should really be charging a $10,000 registration fee annually to operate one and rigorous testing before passing. I'm not talking like a driving test. I'm talking like to get your pilot license kind of test. We need like this is too much. This is it. This clip was the final nail in the coffin. We need podcast police. We need podcast police that pull people over when a clip like this is posted. Hi, ma'am. Podcast license and registration, please. You know why I pulled you over? You been yapping tonight, ma'am? Have you been yapping tonight? You step out of the car for me. Could you step out of the podcast studio for me, please? Yeah, it smells like bullshit in here that you've been just yapping. Could you step out of the podcast studio for me, please? Bless her heart. Oh, bless her heart. I did promise a Just Ask Gino this week, didn't I? We got time for a quick Just Ask Gino. I got a good question this week. It's a music question. And the question is, how do I write a good hook? Somebody asked me. And that's a great question. Now, there's no real answer to how do I write a good hook. The obvious answer is like something catchy. You know, you got to follow, you know, it's melodically, it needs to be captivating. Repetitive is obviously like a pretty good rule of thumb, but I think it's more important, instead of telling you how to write a good hook, I want to tell you why it's important to abandon a bad hook. Because I think the art of abandoning a bad hook is maybe more valuable than learning how to write a good hook. Because too many songwriters and producers waste valuable hours of their life, days of their life that they'll never get back, pursuing a shitty song. Because you're trying to save it. You're trying to salvage it, right? Go ahead and put that dog down. Like Will Smith in I Am Legend. Just fucking, you're not catchy enough. I'm sorry. You're just, the melody sucks. The beat doesn't really have a good underlick. It's not, the whole fucking thing sucks. And then move on to the next idea. Start a new song. I mean, sometimes, here's another strategy you can employ. Sometimes I'll go to the studio and do like 3 to 4 hook ideas and like just lay down verse melodies instead of doing a full song. Not always, right? Sometimes you want to go and like just do a full record, but like sometimes it's a good exercise to just bang out a bunch of hook ideas and then revisit those ideas later or send them off to A&Rs or managers or to your whatever, and revisit them with fresh ears and decide, is this worth finishing? Or does this suck? Because like, you know, when you first make something, it always feels, oh, this is so cool and new and sick and it's mine, so I automatically love it. But like, I can't tell you how many times I'll be like, man, this is fucking gonna change our lives. And then you like listen back the next day and you're like, okay. Kind of mid. You know? You don't, every song you make isn't going to be a hit song. But like, you should be leaving the studio with like the majority of the time, the record should feel hitty if you want to be a king in this industry or a queen in this industry. You know what I'm saying? So if it doesn't feel like that, then abandon it. Plastic surgery can't fix everybody. You can't just give a shitty song a fucking facelift and some filler and put an Instagram filter on it and go win Miss USA. It's just not, you gotta, like, I don't know, man. I really hope you're soaking up this. I know it might sound crazy and like counterproductive. And, you know, look, artists, I already know, I can already see the fucking comment section. Artists are going to be like, that's not art. You're trying to write hits. And then if you try to write a hit, I'm the main fucking preacher of this message. You should never try to write a hit. You should always try to make the best song you can make. You should never make a hit. You should never make music thinking about money. But you should try to write a great song. And if the song's not a great song, then move on. You're welcome. And when you do finish that song, when you have a song that like is worth, you know, or if you have a hook that is like one of them hooks, when you write the rest of the song, they should all be hooks. Write a song full of hooks. Your entire song should feel hooky. Your verse should feel hooky. Your pre-hook should be a hook. It should all be fucking catchy and sticky and hooky. Don't just gloss over a section. especially if it's the opening verse to the song. You need to hook people in if you don't start with the hook. That's going to conclude Just Ask Gino. And that's going to conclude our episode this week. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, do me a solid, would you? Go ahead and like it, subscribe to the show, save it to your device, and send it to a loved one and, or potentially either, both, an arch nemesis. If you're watching on YouTube, which you should be, Pikachu, okay? You should be watching it on YouTube because it's the best way to consume the Good Luck Podcast. If you're watching it on YouTube, tap that like button, punch that subscribe button with your dominant hand, and then go ahead and grease up that algorithm by leaving a comment. Because you're an oil man. I am the one who knocks on the subscribe button. And that's going to conclude the show, guys. I want to thank you for tuning in again this week as the world continues to just spiral into absolute madness. And I continue to narrate the apocalypse. I want to thank you and sign you off with everyone's favorite AI theme song. Good night and good luck.
Everybody listen close. There's a brand new show that you gotta know. It's called Good Luck
With who?
Gino.
That's me.
It's gonna get you moving, get you in the zone. Good luck, good vibes, good times. With Gino by your side, you'll be feeling fine. Woo! Every week,
Come on.
he's gonna bring the hype. Ow. So come on, let's go tune in online. Good luck, good vibes, good times. With Gino, it's gonna be a real delight. So get ready to laugh, learn and grow. Good luck, let's go.
Bitch.